carbon sink, deforestation, and climate change. Climate change is a problem central to environmental sciences. It is important that the world as a whole is able to target the sources of climate change in order to slow its effects and ideally to end it. One of these sources of climate change is deforestation. Deforestation results in a massive loss of carbon sink each year. The term carbon sink refers to anything that absorbs more carbon than it releases. In this case, we are referencing trees, which, through the process of photosynthesis, absorb oxygen and release carbon dioxide. Through this process, a mature tree is able to absorb carbon dioxide at a rate of about 48 pounds per year. When a mature forest is cleared out, a massive amount of carbon sink is lost, and when a forest is burned, the amounts of carbon stored in a tree's lifetime are released into the environment. CO2, along with other gases, are referred to as greenhouse gases. What this means is that with their release into the atmosphere, they become trapped and act as insulators for heat on Earth. The effects of this have been clearly seen since 1880. This date is significant as it marks a time after both Europe and the United States had already experienced their own respective industrial revolutions. After the Industrial Revolution, coal and steam-powered technology reigned supreme, and the ever-so increasing amount of carbon released into the atmosphere began to grow at a much more rapid rate. This increase in carbon began to have direct impacts on the temperature of Earth, which, since 1880, has risen about 0.8 degrees Celsius. Today, the United States has changed its ways drastically in terms of deforestation and preservation of its ever-so important carbon sinks. Between the years of 1990 and 2010, the U.S. lost an average of 949,750 acres of forest each year. However, this value is misrepresentative of the amount of timber harvested each year, as much of the land from which the wood is taken remains considered forest, even without much forest left. The 949,750 acres lost each year is calculated by looking at the land whose primary purpose has transitioned from forest to another purpose, such as home developments or farmlands. Looking at the total amount of timber harvested, the number is actually about 11 million acres per year. Impressively though, the United States averaged a reforestation rate from 1990 to 2010 of nearly 19 million acres each and every year. This puts the United States on a clearly positive trend of reforestation in the future, but the same cannot be said for other nations. Tropical regions suffer the most from deforestation and the loss of the precious carbon sink. Countries such as Brazil, Indonesia, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and Thailand are some of the heaviest hit by deforestation, but many other African nations are facing the same fate. According to the FAO, about half of the world's tropical rainforests have been lost, and according to WWF, about 36 football fields of trees are lost every minute. These forests are lost for a variety of different reasons, including clear cutting for industrial use and slash and burn agriculture. Slash and burn agriculture is a technique which entails cutting down a section of forest, burning it, and using the land for farming. Burning the trees provides the plants with more nourishment, but it is short-lived. Within a few years, the soil will no longer be fertile, and the farmer will move on to the next patch, leaving the swath barren and uninhabitable. Even with the work put in by more developed countries, each and every year, swaths of rainforest the size of Panama are lost. With a single hectare of mature forest able to absorb about 6.4 tons of CO2 a year, and Panama having an area of 7.5 times 10 to the 6th, a total of 4,826,752 tons of carbon sink are lost in rainforests alone. At this current rate, all of the rainforests could be depleted within the next 100 years. If we allow this to happen, not only would we lose an absolutely massive amount of carbon sink, but lose thousands upon thousands of species that inhabit the rainforests. The United States has helped to pave the way and set an example for other countries to show that it is possible to greatly decrease, or, in our case, completely balance deforestation with replanting. If other countries, such as Brazil and Indonesia, can jump on board with this movement and begin planting as much as, if not more than they take, we can hopefully help to preserve what carbon sinks we have left. The problem of habitat loss and biodiversity is a different issue because of the ways trees are replanted. Usually, only the fastest growing, most economically profitable trees are being replanted. This means that while, yes, we are regaining the ever so important carbon sink, we are also destroying the natural habitats of so many other life forms. But until such a time that we can produce paper, furniture, homes, and so many other things out of materials other than wood, we will seemingly always have an imbalance of natural habitat, plantations, and clear cuts.